Welcome back to Seller Sessions. I am your host today, Sharon Evan, and in today's video slash podcast, we're going to be doing an in-depth tutorial on how to use the 132nd Canton Fair, which is now online, how to navigate around and use the website. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, probably the first 5 minutes is going to be helpful to you. After that, you're probably going to need to find the video to this and actually watch the tutorial in depth. So this is the 132nd Canton Fair. Usually the Canton Fair is live in China. Ever since COVID, since China is pretty unstable, it has gone online. This is, I'm pretty sure, the 5th online Canton Fair, maybe the 4th. I could be wrong. This Canton Fair is going to be live until the 1st of March. From my understanding, it's either the 1st of March or the end of March. I'm pretty sure it's the 1st of March, 2023. So the website will be live. However, the live streams and the ability to book calls with exhibitors is only going to be live until the 24th of October. I'm filming this on the 18th of October. So you've got until the 24th to be able to watch the live streams or to be able to schedule calls. Honestly, it's not that crucial, to be honest. The most important things that you need is to be able to have access to contact suppliers. So all you really need is, their details, their website, etc. The minute you have their website, you have their email, you have their phone number for WeChat, etc. That's all you really need. So I think it's really, really awesome that it's going to be live until March, which is basically a month before the 133rd Canton Fair, which will most probably also be live. There's over 35,000 exhibitors. It's the most exhibitors. I'm pretty sure it's like 40% more than usual. The most exhibitors that have ever taken part in the Canton Fair. There's over 3 million products that are also, live on the Canton Fair, which is from my knowledge, also the most products has ever been live as well. And that's it. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to be doing a very in-depth tutorial on how to navigate all around the website. Like I said, if you're listening to this on the podcast, I highly recommend that you find the video for this. You can either find it on my YouTube channel, the Sharon Evan YouTube channel, or on the Seller Sessions YouTube channel, and you can watch it in depth there. And without further ado, let's get into my computer. All right, so we're now on my computer and I am logged into the Canton Fair website, which is cantonfair.org.cn. When you go to the website, also you can Google Canton Fair on Google. The first thing that comes up, at least for me, is not the actual Canton Fair website. So make sure that at the end it says .org.cn. Now, once you go into the website, it will be in Chinese and Mandarin. So it'll look like this. All we need to do is hit English on the top right, or EN on the top right, and it will turn to English. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to register. If you already have either taken part of the Canton Fair in previous years, whether it be you actually attended a Canton Fair or you have registered online, then you should already have your login details. You can just log in, or your badge details, which you can use to log in. If you have not registered yet, it's very easy. Instead of my name on the top right, because I am logged in, instead of that on the top right, it'll say register. You click on register. It's going to give you 3 different options. Most of you guys watching me are going to be overseas buyers. So you click on overseas buyer. You click on that, and then it's going to ask you a few different questions. Notice where there is a little red star, those are the only things you actually have to fill out, which from memory is your name, your address, your company name, your company address, and that's what I remember. Oh, and your company scope. So when you click on it, it's going to ask you what types of categories interest you. Click whatever you like. It doesn't really matter. You're still going to have access to every other category anyway. And then you click submit. From there, it's then going to email you a verification link, which you have to click on and be verified. Just verify your email. Once you've done that, then that's it. You'll be registered. Now, in order to take it to the next step, you're going to have to confirm your business. It's really stupid. All you need to do is click on confirm, fill out a few questions. They don't check any of this. Only like 4 or 5 questions are a must. Again, notice where's the little red asterisk or a little red star, and then you'll know what you actually have to fill out. Is just very, very simple. They don't ask you for any official documentation or anything like that. Everything I'm just saying, I literally did because I wanted to create this tutorial. I didn't want to use my actual account, so I just literally did that like 2 minutes ago. And it took me like 2 minutes. So explaining it sounds like it's a lot of work. It takes 2 minutes to do. It's really, really quick. That's it. Okay. So once you're logged in, this is what the website's going to look like. So we're going to look at 4 main things. Obviously I'll go through everything, but I'll step by step go through the most important things. Something to take note, which I probably would have said in the introduction to this video, is this is the first online Canton fair that is more than 5 or 10 days. This Canton fair, which started on the 15th, I am filming today on the 18th. It is basically live for 5 months. Okay, so it's live for the next 5 months. If you're watching this before the 24th of October, 2022, then until the 24th of October 2022, the live streams and scheduling with suppliers or exhibitors will be live as from the 24th of October and for the next 5 months, which is basically a month before the next Canton Fair. You will have access to everything else. So you'll still be able to search for products. You'll still be able to search for suppliers or exhibitors. You'll still be able to basically connect to businesses is really the most important thing here. You'll still have access to all of the suppliers' details, so you can then also, be able to contact them outside as well. Okay, so let's begin. So we're doing a thorough tutorial of how to use the Canton Fair website. So once you're in and you're on the home page, the first part that you're going to see is this over here, okay, where it says exhibitors and products. This is basically where you search for either products or you search for exhibitors. On the Canton Fair website, an exhibitor is basically a supplier, and an exhibit is basically a product. Later on, you'll see that instead of using the word product, they use the word exhibit. So exhibitor is just like a supplier, and exhibit is products. Great. So there are 2 different ways that you can search for exhibitors or suppliers. The first one is by using a keyword. Okay, so you can type in the keyword here. The second way is you can click on enter here and you can search by a specific category and then start subcategorying down. I personally use a search keyword method because it's the most logical and quick method for me. So very similar to Alibaba, and by the way, I do have an in-depth Alibaba tutorial. Alibaba's made a few changes since I made the tutorial, so there's really tiny little changes, but it's still an applicable tutorial. I'll put a link for that at the top. If you're someone looking into sourcing, you should also know how to use Alibaba as well. But for now, we're on the Canton Fair. So very similar to Alibaba, how you can either search by supplier or by product. Same thing here. You can either search by product or search by an exhibitor. Okay, and I'll explain what I mean. So for the sake of example for today, we're going to use the product cooler bag. Okay, so let's say I'm looking for a cooler bag supplier. I'm going to click here, enter keyword. I'm going to type in cooler bag. I'm just going to click the first one. I'm going to click on search. What you're going to see is it will show me all of the different products that come up under the name cooler bag. Okay, so there's 4,258 products that come under the keyword cooler bag, but there's 386 exhibitors in which it shows that sell cooler bags. So I prefer to look at it by exhibitor rather than by product, Same thing on Alibaba. I also like to look at it by supplier rather than product. Why? Because out of those 4,258 products, okay, there's only 386 suppliers, which means that a lot of these products that I keep seeing are going to be by the same supplier. And I rather just be able to find the suppliers and start doing my searching on there. So when we look at the page, what we're going to see, if you're looking at it by product, what you're going to see here is different products. You can either look at it this way, where it's one row per product, or one product per row, or you can look at it this way, where it's 4 products per row. And what you're going to see is you're going to see an image, the name of the product, a hashtag associated with that product, and then who the company is, or the exhibitor, whose booth it is. Remember, in Canton Fair, it's usually booths. Okay, but basically who the supplier is. Compared to, for example, on Alibaba, you see a lot more information from the search page. So if you want to get more information here, you need to actually click on it to get to the actual product page. So from here, once we start to scroll through, we're going to see many different products. I'm just going to let's pretend that this product interests me. I have 2 options. 1, I can click on it, or 2, I can add it to my favorites. The way you do that is by clicking on this little red heart. Okay, because this is a new account, that's the first time I'm doing this, this is what you're going to see when it comes up when you try and add to favorites. So it says privacy settings. Every time adding exhibitors or exhibits to favorites, allow exhibitors to view my information, company name, etc. Allow exhibitors to send me instant messages, and allow sending my business card to exhibitors. This is obviously an account that I made just for the sake of making tutorials. I don't want anyone reaching out to me, nor do I want them to see my company information. So I'm just going to click on disagree. Okay, if you obviously have the opposite, you do want them to be able to contact you, click agree. I've clicked on disagree on both, and I've clicked submit. And you can see that it just says here, to view your favorite exhibit. Basically what it was saying was, to view your favorites, you need to go into my favorites, which I will later show you how to get there. So you can see that this heart has now become filled in with red, which means I've added it to favorite. So I could do this and add many to favorite and later on look at them one by one, or I could actually click on the product and it will take me to that product detail page on the Canton Fair. So it's taking me to the product detail page. Now, some product detail pages will actually show pricing, and some will say, like it does here, contact for detailed quotation. If I want to get information, I'm going to need to contact them, or else on other products, it may actually give a price. So what we see here are different angles and photos of the product. We see what the target markets are that this company usually sells to or works with. What is a minimum order quantity for this product? The special product specifications you can see here. Okay, more product details down here. Okay, and if I just move myself, you'll see here that I can either submit a request for a quotation, I can start instant messaging with the company, or I can schedule an appointment, which we'll look at later. Okay, but that's how I get to a product detail page. If I go back to here, this is where we were. Obviously, I can add multiple products to my favorites if I want to. You can see I just added this one as well. Now, that's how I searched for a product by clicking on products. If I click on exhibitors, instead of showing me many different products, it's now going to show me suppliers that sell the type of product that I'm looking for. I personally like to work in this way more than by products. So we can see that the first one that's come up is this company, Wenju Lianhai Bag Company Limited. And you'll see it has this little flower. When it has this little flower, it means that the exhibitor / supplier has participated in the Canton Fair more than 10 times. Okay, so if there's 2 Canton Fairs a year, then that's at least 5 years that they've been a part of the Canton Fair. So let's just say that I can see that this company has more than 63 matching products to the keyword that I put in, which is cooler bags. So to me, that's also a sign that this is a company that really works with their main product, maybe cooler bags or bags in general. And we can also see bag in their brand name as well, or in their company name, sorry. So this is definitely a company that looks like they have a lot of experience in the specific product type that I'm looking for. Okay. Because they have at least 63 matching products to the product that I'm looking for, which means they have a lot of different cooler bags. B, it has the word bag in their name. So that means that must be one of their main products as well. And also it's a supplier that I'd be interested to working with, or to at least take to the next level of checking them out, because of the fact that they've also been around for at least 10 or more Canton fairs. So the first thing I can do is I can add them to favorites, which you can see there. And now that them as an exhibitor or as a supplier will be in my favorites. And then I can obviously also click on them. And when I click on them, it's going to take me to their Canton Fair storefront. Okay, so it's taking me to their website, as you can see here. Now notice, I'm just going to move myself. Okay, notice there's always instant messaging and scheduling an appointment availability here. I am guessing that this will no longer appear if you do this after October the 24th, 2022. Okay. Because until October the 24th, there will still be the live and the scheduling option. And after that, it's not going to be those options anymore. And you're going to have to contact them. From my understanding, contact them yourself, which is not very difficult to do. I will show you how to find their details. So we have an About Us section. There's a little video here as well. We have more information here. For example, what kind of trade forms they do, what area they're in, year of establishment, etc. There's a few clickable images here. Their booth information. So they specialize in cases and bags. And then the hot products, the different products that they have, new products that they're doing, recommended products. And then you have here Contact Us, again, another place where we can look at the instant messaging and scheduling an appointment. Okay, so it's taking me to that. Now that we're on their storefront, I can also, you can see here at the top, it says their company details. This is how you know if you're inside of a storefront on the Canton Fair website. So I'm currently in their home. I can go to look at specific product detail pages by clicking on product. I can look at their profile by clicking on profile, which gives me a little bit more information here. Their records for what Canton Fairs they've been a part of. I can click on live and see if they have participated in any lives since starting the Canton Fair. Now, I don't know yet if this will still be available, if you'll still be able to see their past lives once 24th of October passes. From previous experience that I have, usually their previous lives are there. Take into consideration that the live streaming that you see isn't always actually live. Sometimes it's uploaded images, uploaded videos. They don't have a virtual booth, so I can't click on that. And then there's the Contact Us, and this is where it's important that you know how to find this, because this is where you find their actual company details. Okay, the Contact Us part. So it's showing me basic information. It's showing me their company name. It's showing me their address, their zip code. I can see their website, and a lot of these suppliers or exhibitors are going to take you to an Alibaba storefront, which is interesting. Okay, but if I was to click on that, it would take me to their Alibaba one. View company's contact information. You have to be a registered buyer in order to do this, which is why I started the video by saying to be a registered buyer. So if I click that, I can see the contact person, their mobile number, their email address, their telephone, and their fax. If I wanted to then try and search for them on WeChat, for example, I have that the details here, or their email, etc. Okay, so after October the 24th, this is going to be always available. It's also available now, but it will also stay available after October the 24th, and you can then contact them from there. Okay, so what have we gone over up to now? We were in the homepage. I showed you how you can search for a product using a keyword, either by product or by exhibitors. We looked at what a product detail page looked like, and we also looked at what an exhibitor storefront looks like. The second way you can search for a product is by clicking on a relevant category and looking through that way. As you can see here, something that I forgot to mention earlier was the different filters that you have on the left-hand side. Okay, so notice the filters. You can filter either by subcategory, you can filter by country, by product type. So are they a new product? Do they have a Canton Fair award? I'll explain that later. Is it an intelligent product, a green and low carbon product? Different things that you can see here. Usually if you put your mouse over these, it gives you a brief explanation of what each thing is. Okay, record, are they a frequent exhibitor or are they a new exhibitor? Business type, for example, if you only want to work with a manufacturer, you would click that. Trade type, most of you are probably going to be OEM or ODM, but you don't really need to click that. Target markets, if you wanted to filter it by that. If I was to compare this to the Alibaba filters on Alibaba, I have more in-depth filters that I can use. For example, certificates, etc. You don't have that here. This is what you have here if you want to use the filters. So that's a second way that you can search for products, either by a keyword, search for a product / exhibitor, either by using a keyword or by looking at categories and subcategories through here. Moving along, the next part of the website is, it's called Global Business Matching. What it basically is, it's very, very similar to how Alibaba has the request for quotation form, where you can basically put out a request, you fill in the information of the product that you're looking for, and then Alibaba goes and puts it out to relevant suppliers, and then they come back to you. Multiple suppliers come back to you with a quotation. This is very, very similar. So if I was to click on go to supply and demand hall, okay, if then I want to post a sourcing request, which I've just clicked on, it's then going to take me to a page which is very similar to a request for quotation page, where I put in the product details. I can also upload a specification sheet if I want to. And this is basically once you logged in, you're going to have this dashboard. So by clicking on that, it took me to this dashboard. I put in here the product name, you put in the category, okay, choosing what category it's under, sourcing type, OEM or ODM, purchase quantity, how many units are you looking to order, trade terms, which is EXW or FOW is what you, EXW or FOB is what most of us would be using. Are there any specific details that are important to you? Those are the main things. Remember to look for where there's a little red star or red asterisk. That's what you have to fill out. You don't have to fill out anything else because this will automatically be filled out. But if you want to fill out more information, you can. You can fill out here target unit price. This would be the price, the target price per unit that you're looking to source. I usually don't put in a price here. I would usually leave it. Export or country region that you're looking to export to. Many of you, it will be, for example, America. You can fill that out or you could leave it. Okay, how long this request is valid for. So for example, let's just say if it's valid for a maximum of 7 days, then you would put today's date whenever you're doing this and valid until the next 7 days or for however long it's valid for. If there's any specific requests that you have from a supplier, so for example, you only want to get quotes back from manufacturers, or special conditions could be, for example, they must have a certain certificate. They must have, they must allow inspections. I don't know, things like that. Any specific things that are important to you for the supplier. You do not have to fill the next part out over here, shipping and payment, but you could if you wanted to as well. You can see here, this is just an account that I made for the sake of making this tutorial. Okay, it'll automatically fill in your information. You can then add in your phone number, and most of the time if you do that, they will usually find you either on WeChat or WhatsApp. And then where it says attach information, you can actually attach or upload a specification sheet if you choose to. Remember to be discreet if you're looking for, if your product that you want to develop is extremely differentiated or whatever it may be, or if you've invented something and you haven't, applied for any sort of IP protection in general, you want to not give out all the information to everyone without actually building some trust with that supplier. So remember to be discreet. You may want to put up what I would call a decoy product, but that's for a totally different video. That's more of my sourcing videos. Okay, but I'm just saying you can add an attachment here with further information. And then you just click on submit request, and then that will go through, and then you'll start, a few days later, you'll start getting quotations come through from different types of exhibitors. Okay, I'm now going to click back so that we can continue from where we left off. So we went through how do we find exhibitors, how we put through a request. The next part you have here is product release. So these are basically live videos of new products that are being released, exhibitors who are live right now, and then you've got the virtual exhibition hall. I'm very, very briefly going to go through these because they're pretty self-explanatory. So product release, if I click on that, it's going to take me to new products that have been released that are live or playbacks of them, as you can see here. Okay. The next one would be exhibitors who are currently live, whether it be newer products or older products, it doesn't matter. Exhibitors who are currently live. So for the sake of showing you what a live would look like, I'm just going to click on the first one. Okay, so basically where it's taken me is to this company's storefront, and I'm currently on their live page. And this is what a live would look like. Okay, now this doesn't really look live to me. It looks like an uploaded video, which is what I was saying earlier, that sometimes they're uploaded videos. But basically sometimes they'll be showing you different product types. Sometimes they'll be showing you one product type, and sometimes it's going to be showing you their showroom or whatever that may be. Okay, you can do here instant messaging. You can schedule an appointment, and you'll be able to see previous lives in which they've done as well. You can also use the chat. Okay, this doesn't look like a really active live. There's not that many people here, but sometimes you can start a chat as well. That's what it looks like when you go to exhibitors who are currently live. The next one that we see here is the virtual exhibition hall, which on the one hand seems really, really cool. And on the other hand, I don't really think that it's that necessary, but it's pretty awesome. So this is what the Canton Fair site actually looks like. Obviously we're online, but what you can do is you can basically click enter over here, and then it's going to show you the 16 different categories for this Canton Fair. Let's just go to home decorations. And from there, let's go to here. I'm just randomly going to something. From there, it's basically going to show you the different booths for the different companies in which exist. This Canton Fair has 35,000 exhibitors. I don't 100% understand why this here is necessary. Not everyone has a virtual booth. It could be that the people that do have a virtual booth probably paid a lot more money, I'm guessing, in order to participate. I haven't looked too much into it because it's not that necessary. In my opinion, I don't spend a lot of time on here. But let's look at what a virtual booth can look like. In my experience, there's a few different types of virtual booths. Some of them really are just showing you the showroom in their factory. Some of them show you many different like 360 images of their factory, and some of them it looks like it's an actual virtual booth, like it's a virtual booth with products that have clickable products that will then take you to a detail page. It's pretty cool if it's, if you're new to it. I don't really spend a lot of time on the virtual booth, but it can be awesome for people who haven't looked at it before. Okay, so it took a good couple of minutes for this to come up because there's so much graphics here. Sometimes it can take a little bit of time for it to come up. This is an example of what a virtual booth could look like. There are different types of virtual booths. Some of them don't look like this. They look different. You'll sometimes see here that there will be images. So first of all, you can click and start moving around. You can see that some of the products will have these little dots on them. When you click on it, it will usually come up with what the product is. It's taking a bit of time to do that, and I don't want to waste time with the video. So that's one thing that you can do. You can turn everything around like 360. Okay, now there's a second image here in which I can click on, which will just show me another part of the virtual booth. Same thing here, etc. So the virtual booth basically will either show you an actual booth with, sometimes it will have clickable products and sometimes it won't, or it will, instead of being an actual virtual booth, it'll just be a tour basically of their production line, of their sales room, of their office, of their etc. Each time that I've clicked on different ones, it's looked different. The only reason I've clicked on them is just for the sake of curiosity, not necessarily because I've needed them. Okay, but that is what happens when you click on virtual booth down here. So again, we've gone through how do we find exhibitors through using keywords, how do we find them through using these subcategories and categories, how do we find exhibitors by going to the supply and demand hall and putting through a request. Product releases over here, like we said, was lives that are currently going on for new products. Exhibitors who are live right now. If you just want to randomly go and look at different lives from different exhibitors, you click here. Virtual exhibition hall shows you virtual booths. Then you have here news and events, and you're going to see these two little bees. One of them is called Bee, one of them is called Honey. They're here, Bee and Honey. They're basically like the educational side of the Canton Fair. Here you're going to see services and support. You can go through these yourself later. The one I'm going to look and show you is the Canton Fair Awards, which is really, really awesome. Every single year, I think it's since 2013, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But every single year since something like 2013, the Canton Fair gives awards for different inventions or different types of products. And you can see who and what products have received awards. Last year, this looked a little bit different. It straight away took you to a different page. Now you can also apply through here. You can look at the news. You can see where the jury are, etc. I'm going to click on online gallery, and then it shows me the different products that have received the Canton Fair award for. There's a few different categories there. And then it's going to take you here. Now, something that I don't think they had in previous years is that this year you can actually look at previous year's awards as well, which you can here. You basically click over here and then you can go back to, what's that? Either 2013 or from 2014 and see every single year what products or companies have received the awards. If you want to learn more about the awards, you can just click back here and read more about them. I'm just going to click on a product just for you to see what it looks like when you go here. Okay, so remember we were here, I just clicked on a product and this is what it looks like when you do that. So basically you can see different images of the product. It will show you what the product name is, what it received an award for, who is the company, what's the company name, who the designer is, and then it will give you information about the product. A lot of these products are patented, at least in China. Not all, but a lot of them are. Why I like to look at these award products that have received awards is because sometimes it will show you a trend that is to come. Okay, so sometimes you'll look through these and you'll see something that's new that hasn't really come out to, for example, it may be sort of new in China and it hasn't even arrived to America yet. I'm the type of person who likes to bring into the market. I like to build brands, and and as a product developer, I help people to build brands and to develop products. Usually they're highly differentiated products. We don't do copy paste. Like take a product, copy and paste it and sell it with our own brand name, which is called private label. So at the end of the day, The main reason I like looking at these is because sometimes you can see a trend to come. Something new has happened. So for example, let's pretend if, wireless earphones, the first one that was to exist would have come up here. That may have then, I could have looked at that when the first wireless earphones came out. I could have looked at that and I could have said, okay, this is going to start a trend. And there are many other products that then came out from wireless earphones, for example, cases for them, chargers for them, pods to charge on them, etc. So sometimes when you look at these, they can show you of new trends to come. And in general, it's just awesome to see products that have received awards. And obviously if a company has received an award, then they either have great designers and or could be very high quality suppliers as well. Okay, so you can also click on here and look at previous years if you choose to as well. That was through here. We got to that services and support, and we clicked on CF Canton Fair Award. You can look through other things if they're important to you. At the end of the day, that's it. You'll see here it says what our friends say. In China, if you don't know the Chinese culture, a lot of the time they will call business partners friends. It's a normal thing. So that was the main page. We went through it and we looked at where each section takes you. Because we're buyers, you can also click on buyer over here and it will take you to a buyer's homepage, which basically more or less consolidates what I just showed you. So quick start, find products. Here, if you click find products, it's going to show you how to find products through categories, which I showed you earlier. Watch live streaming or post a request. Here you've got guides for online attendees. So the attendance. So this is basically PDF files that the Canton Fair has made. Most of these were also available last year in the online Canton Fair. Some of these are new. You basically click on it and it basically explains to you how to use every single aspect of the Canton Fair. Okay, as you can see, if you want to learn what instant messaging is, it will show you here exactly how to approach it. Great for people who are new to the website. Highlights, you can see that there as well. So we looked at the homepage. We looked at the homepage when you click under buyer. Obviously, there's more information here if you want to learn more about the Canton Fair in the news or the about section. You can go to that as well. Okay. The next thing that you need to learn is how to navigate through the dashboard. So once you're registered, you've logged in, you hover over your name and you'll see it'll come up. You've got personal center here. It's going to take you to your dashboard, which there you can find all the scheduled appointments that you've scheduled. The requests that you've put through for matching exhibitors to the product that you're looking for, they're going to be there. Your favorites is going to be there and a lot more. So while that comes up, remember the way that I got there was I hovered over my name and clicked on personal center. And then it will take you to here. This is your dashboard. I only made this account today for the sake of making this, so I don't have any scheduled appointments with suppliers. By the way, they're very similar to like Skype conversations with the supplier. They're usually through videos. Okay, so what I want you to be able to find straight away, first of all, is on the left, on the middle in the left, it says my favorites. This is where you can see either exhibitors that you added to your favorites, which is basically like suppliers, or you can see products that you've added to your favorites over here as well. Okay, which is really awesome. Now, something I didn't show you guys earlier was how do we actually communicate with the supplier or contact them through the website. So let me just really quickly hit on a product so I can show you how to do that. Okay, so I have just clicked on this product. Remember how I said earlier, you can either, when you're searching for an exhibitor or a product, you can either look at them one by one. I prefer to add them to my favorites and then later start filtering through them. So this is how you get to your favorites. You click here. I've clicked on this product and it's basically straight away taken me to the detail page of this product. Notice here it does give me a price point, okay, between 31 cents to $1.20 per piece. Now, what we haven't looked at yet is how do I communicate with the supplier? So first thing I can do is I can submit a request either through here on the right hand side. If I click on that, you'll see what it looks like. And it basically looks like this. It's taking me to my dashboard, to my requests. It's already put in the exhibitor's details here. And it basically, you just need to fill out your requests. And at the bottom here, you can also add an attachment, adding in basically a specification sheet or whatever it may be. Okay, that's the first option. The second option is instant messaging. So if you're doing this in a time frame which China is awake, you can also do instant messaging with them. Okay, as you can see here. Okay, I'm not looking to start. Okay, it's already sent them my information, but you can see here, this is the instant messaging. It shows me also their details on the right hand side. And then I have the opportunity to also schedule an appointment with them, which are usually video appointments where I can speak and see the salesperson. And that's over here how you would do that. You'd give the times in which you're available, and you'd click save and send, and it would basically book a appointment with them. Okay, so this is where you find your favorites. Okay, remember, exhibits is products and exhibitors is the suppliers. You can also look here at any appointments in which you've scheduled. You can look at your calendar. You can look at the different sourcing requests that you've put through here as well. The rest of this information I'm going to leave you guys to start scrolling through, because this video is already really long and it's not the most important things right now. Most important is, this is how you find your sourcing requests. This is how you find the appointments in which you've booked. And this is how you find your favorites. Beyond that, that's really the most important things that you guys need to know for how to use the Canton Fair website. I think that the website this year is, well, the 132nd Canton Fair, which is online. They've really upgraded the website. I feel like there's a lot more exhibitors. So there's over 35,000 exhibitors, where usually, from memory, in China, when they have the Canton Fair, I'm pretty sure it's usually 25,000 or something like that. So there's a lot more exhibitors. I'm pretty sure there's more than 3 million products. They have a lot more functions than they used to, and also all of this information will be available for the next 5 months, which is great. Remember, you can always look and find a supplier on the Canton Fair website, and then from there you can also find them on Alibaba. Sometimes a supplier will only be on Alibaba for, I don't know, let's just say 4 years. But then you'll find their booth on the Canton Fair, and you see, well, they've actually, been a part of the last 15 Canton Fairs. So maybe they haven't been on Alibaba for that long, but they've been around for a long time, including on the Canton Fair. Now, if I was to do a comparison to Canton Fair, Alibaba, global sources, they're all very, very different. They each give you different things. I think that Canton Fair coming online and bringing all these functions in is great. And I think that it's definitely a great tool for all of us to use together with Alibaba as well, basically, is what I wanted to say. I hope that this tutorial helped you. One more thing that I did want to mention that may interest you: when you scroll down, you look at news and events, there's a lot of information here. There is a few different videos from the Minister of Commerce in China, and many other videos that I recommend that you watch. It could give you better understanding of China's vision. There was a lot of pressure put on the Canton Fair organizers this year. And you can learn about that through watching the different videos here. There's like a 15-minute video to welcome to the Canton Fair. There's 3 different ministers, I can't remember which each one is, that speaks there, etc. So also look at the information here. You can learn a lot about the Canton Fair, about the exhibitors, about how to use the actual website. There's a lot of tutorials here from the actual Canton Fair organizers. And also there's a few hidden information that basically, you can learn a little bit more about China as well. So I hope this tutorial was helpful. If you enjoyed the video, please do comment below and please also give it a thumbs up. Hey guys, thanks so much for listening to this or watching this on Seller Sessions. I hope that this tutorial has helped you and I will see you all next week.